Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. We're going to do some coins after I did a weather update. As I told you, this channel is also Michigan Snow Forecast Gold Standard, VGCInews.com sponsors Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing and Michigan Snow Forecast Gold Standard. So any of my weather people out there, if you're in Maine, North or South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Kentucky, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Delaware, Washington, Portland, California, Nevada, Wyoming, right? Any of these states across the lower 48. If you need weather information, you just comment in those weather pages and we'll make forecasts for your area with winter storms, but especially the Great Lakes metropolitan area, right? Where I'm located, the state of Michigan, the great state of Michigan, which we put a phenomenal update on our first accumulating snowstorm of the season. Not really a snowstorm in Detroit, but our first accumulating snow of the season, and nonetheless, of dusting to several inches possible now. We're upping the ante a little bit. 2, 3, 4 inches could be possible if all things went the right way for me. Birthday snowstorm, right? What do we got going on here? So Johnny D, KDA, you were talking about. We're going to give you some KDA. KDA. I'm guessing it's this. We'll go check out some TA on this. Let's check it out here. I'd be more than happy to do more of these coins for you guys, but you're not helping me out by subscribing, right? So the less you subscribe, the more I'm going to do of what interests me is the weather, right? As it's the winter time, and I love tracking long, short range patterns in the wintertime and snowstorms in the wintertime, right? So if you guys don't start giving me these subscriptions, I'm going to start doing more weather, because I have a big weather audience as the snowstorm starts that like to talk about it. And I would much prefer to do weather videos, right? But I love doing the coins too. But if you're not going to subscribe with the coins, and you're not supporting it, and my weather folks, my weather peeps are supporting my weather far more often and better by joining than the coins, we're going to have to give the new dominant the new market dominance of the weather field that's rapidly growing in this audience, and we're going to have to give them its just due, right? But let's look at this coin, Johnny D, again. Like him, Johnny D's a phenomenal, just like my man that sells the dirty cheeseburgers, Jerome, amongst others, Digital Asset Dad, Ashley, all these phenomenal supporters of the channel, like Johnny D right here, bringing in these phenomenal coins to the channel. Jerome bringing in dent to the channel, right? He comments frequently along with Ashley and Digital Asset Dad. All my original people that contribute, I appreciate it, and that's what I'm talking about. I love when you talk in the comment section. I haven't been seeing a lot of talking in the comment section about coins, right? You guys got to give me ideas for the coins that you want. I only know what coins to talk about from you guys when you bring up the new coins. So this one, look at that. You found a hot one. If you're in this, Johnny D, hopefully you got it at a good price down there and you're riding a pump right now, because you're doing phenomenal if you are. Let's just try to get some lines on here for some perspective. Let's get that up in there. There we go. You got to get that tighter. This is like a big rising channel, right? But look at that volume spike. Big, beautiful volume spike there, right? Why is that moving average so big? Let me get in here. Yeah, that's what's fucking that up. That can go down there. That can go down there. That's good. That's good. This one can actually go. Actually, that can go like. No, this one can go here. And then the 200 can go here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That looks much better. 200 can go there. There we go. That's much, much better. See that? So what we got going on here now, what we want to do here is we set up our technical trading chart like we always do. The volume indicator is key. Bam. Get that in there. Look at that. So right now we know about the volume indicator. Most of the volume and trading's happened up here. So this is very bullish now. This coin is very bullish. Already off the get-go. You had the big flush, bad timing. It came out in the spring. right? When Bitcoin and crypto flushed, so this coin flushed, right? And there's very little volume traded down here. So if this ever did break though, the only big concern is if you ever broke down deep, you can fall all the way down, probably right to here where there's some nice trading. But most of the heavy traded volume has been up here, and you're on the top side of that. So this is a very bullish chart because you got a lot of support underneath right there. That's major support, right? So it's very bullish. What's going on here? Click that. We need to make that smaller. Make this smaller. So this chart looking good already. Very bullish, right? Sort of at a rising broadening wedge there, where it's narrow at the beginning and then it's broadening at the end, and you broke out to the top side above this key volume indicator. Then I like to get a fib circle from our swing low. Or actually what we would like to do is, since we've had the major from our swing open way over there to our swing low to current price. There we go. And we can kind of see if anything's forming here, and we do. We got a little bit going on here. Then we're going to get that down a little bit, lock that. So now we got something to look at with our chart. So if I had to look at here, I would say we're looking very bullish right now. But as the volume declines a little bit, as we've had a big pump, immediately what I would look forward to right here in the short term is underneath. We got your major underneath support is at about $14. This whole range from $14 up into here is major support. And then your major overhead resistance is up here at this blue ring, right? Way up there. That's your major overhead resistance, that if you pumped way up, that would be some major overhead resistance, right? That next ring. But because you can go up now, if you zoom out here, when this coin, how it came out at a very bad time and then crashed, you can see if you put a vertical line up over here, you can see right here, we got some major resistance right there, and then we got your old high right there, right? We'll put another line up here because that's where your old high was. And then we'll swing on back over here, and you can see we're trying to fight through our first major resistance point up here. All right, let's change the color on that, make it something that stands out a little bit better. I like that. And then we got your major resistance up there, right? So we can pull this down a little bit, pull that down there. So $94 is your major overhead resistance, and by the time you hit it, it would probably coincide. There we go, much better. With that blue ring up there, this would be a major upper target right now on a big break up, would be right here. And then you're hitting major overhead resistance right now from the previous high when the coin first came out at the bad time and it flushed, right? See that? So if we zoom in now in a super simple, easy way to trade this manipulated market and fleece, heist, and shiest the criminal gangster cartel, the Ohio State University, brother, right? So we can see that and zoom out here a little bit. We were too close. We're in a 3 minute. We need to get into the 45. And you can see as we pull this back right now, make that auto. There we go. So right now, if we had to look at this in the immediate short term, if we hop on this and can hold that as support and get some volume in, we can come all the way up here. And that's your major overhead resistance up here, that horizontal line that runs into this blue ring right there, right? And then if we can't and we got to retest, we could drop back down to this $14 mark and trade within this channel right here. You see that channel, right? It looks like a duck's beak, and it's getting narrower as you get in here. And then we could decide to break up, or we could decide to break down, right? These are two possible areas you could trade within now, right? You can see that super simple and clear right here with this overhead resistance from when the coin came out and started crashing right here. We're gonna make this a better color. And then this is the old rising broadening wedge, right? We could come back and, no, too dark. We could come back and back test this right here, and that's your underneath support, right? See how that works? And we could be trading within this constricting area all the way up through the end of November towards the holidays, and then break to the upside. And that would make sense, because then when you break to the upside, you could trade all the way up to this $89 target, right? And if we thought that was a little broadening wedge right here, we could say it's trading within that, and it's actually an ascending triangle is what it would essentially be, because you have horizontal support at about the $23 level, and you would have an uptrending or overhead resistance, horizontal overhead resistance at $23, and then you would have an uptrending support starting at $12 and ending at $21, right? And you would take that, the targeted move would be from the base to the top and then to the point of a breakout. And you could see just on the breakout, if that was indeed the pattern that you were consolidating into right now, this would be a phenomenal, from the point of the breakout, 50% pump. And then your upper end target, you have a possible $283, but that is far away from now. But this is a possible pattern that you could be in, and then that would be a phenomenal breakout target right there at the $36 level for that 40% pump, and then the breakdown target, if that was the pattern that you're in and that we've just diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected, right? See how super simple and easy this is when you got a trading view chart and you're using a technical trading strategy, and you're letting the chart tell you, after you start putting up the indicators you like, to help you figure out and overt and subvert the market manipulators. And then you would have a downside target on the breakdown of the same pattern, right? And it would be with our industry exclusive measuring tool. It would be a 50% flush down to $11.69, and we'll put a little price target there, right there at $11. So those are your two targets if this is indeed a pattern that we're trading in, right? See how super simple and easy that was to break down this new coin, Johnny D. We appreciate the support. And on with some other coins that people were asking as I'm strolling through. Christine, beautiful subscriber that supports the channel by commenting and watching the videos and sharing this channel and hitting that bell notification. BTC will go up with mass inflation. Burrow ? Not necessarily. It could, but the massive inflation is going to cause a financial collapse, and I believe risk assets, which Bitcoin and crypto are, I believe risk assets in a hyperinflation where you have a financial collapse, yes, if the dollar just devalues and runs away, I guess it could, but I think the money would quickly sell out of those beforehand at the first signs of distress. And a lot of money would start going into safe havens, tech stocks, and shit like that. That's all based on cheap money, easy money policies, and speculation. It could go up with inflation, absolutely. But if you want to hedge inflation, you want to hedge it with gold and silver bullion, right? Or at least buy some call options on the gold bullion, or in the futures market, or buy some call options on silver, or own some mining companies, or own the physical bullion if you want to hedge against inflation. Gold and silver bullion are the tried, true, and tested methods and means to hedge inflation. So if you want to hedge inflation, I would not be holding crypto for that. Now, if you want to try to speculate in dollar devaluation, that all the assets just continue to rise due to inflation, then you can have your money in that, right? But understand the game that you're playing. You're not hedging your money, right? You're speculating that the stock price will keep going up because assets will continue to rise as governments continue to print and buy said assets, forcing and manipulating the markets up, right? Manipulating the financial markets up, stocks, real estate, bonds, all that. And then it's Bitcoin, because the free money gets there too, right? But that's different than hedging. That's speculating that'll happen. If you want to hedge, you have to buy gold and silver bullion, or at least be exposed to it in the futures market, buying call options, or by buying the I Trust Silver or the I Trust Gold, that is simply an ETF that tracks the spot price of said gold and silver bullion, right? but it's always better to physically hold gold bars, store them at trusted vault services that I use. It's very cheap and affordable, right? It's practically zero. If your gold goes up 0.5% a year, you more than pay for the cost to store your gold at a trusted third party that's been operating for 200 years. But as we're moving on now to the coins, this is kind of a long video. We're going to go and take a look at the XRP. People seem to love the XRP. So we're going to finish out with the XRP because we're already at 15 minutes. I got about 10 minutes more before my laptop will blow up, and it doesn't record any longer than about 26 minutes, right? So we know what we've been talking about this week. That's where people back there thought XRP was going to rally to where it's at now, but Vincenzo told you the price was going to come down here to that target where it wicked down right to it and then reversed. And now we know this green ring's big overhead resistance, and it started to take the south route if you don't want to get up there. And then you're going to trade back into this volume indicator green support box where your major support is and your major volume's been traded, right? And currently that's sitting at $107 at the bottom part of that level. So we're going to watch out and continue to see if that's indeed what XRP does, right? Does it continue to trade down? But the last time it came up against the green ring, this is how we forecasted this call right here, because the last time it hit this green ring, it flushed. And you can see when the price was right here, I was on my way to a Michigan foosball game against Nebraska and Lincoln about a month ago on a Saturday night game. And I said, this is going to consolidate down and, quote, bam, come up here and get rejected by that green ring, and it would lead us down. And then this, I put the arrow down here as your underneath support. Somewhere in this support area is your first logical bounce, as the volume indicator was there. And then you could bounce and trade in here. And if you bounced up, this green ring would get you rejected again, and it did, right? We had a phenomenal call on that outstanding call in the face of a rising price, right? At the time, XRP was up from its stable price 10%. People were forecasting it to go 30-40% up from there. But what did it do from that point on? It went down. Got to zoom out here a little bit. Zoom out some more. It went down a phenomenal industry exclusive measuring tool from the top up here at $1.20, about 5, all the way to the flush. Down here on the wick. Where's this wick at? You got the volume that's meeting it. There you go. There's the wick. It went down 22.61%. I had a 46.69% flush, so I got 50% there, right? So was I 100% right after it reversed? No, but I gave you the warning that after this descending triangle right here flushed with the targeted move at 92 cents, I was giving you the warning that oftentimes after they flush and fulfill a targeted move, they like to get bought back up and back test this major overhead resistance that used to be underneath support when it was trading within this, right? And it likes to back test that, and it did. And then as soon as it hopped back into here, we diagnosed this out and said if it breaks up, your next logical spot would be a fabulous, glowing, all jabroni enticing double top that happened way back there when it got rejected off the green ring at $1.25, right? And we told you that we weren't changing our overall forecast, as before it makes any kind of substantial new highs, it's going to make that 72-cent target, and it really hasn't made any substantial new highs. It got 7 cents above what it did before, never closed above it, so we continue to hold firm that this would be your major overhead resistance, or you would just trade sideways and down into this green ring and into this green trading area, and that would give you overhead sell pressure, and the price would eventually start to trade down, right? Because that's what I think is going on. And a super simple, easy way to trade this market, option one, is you continue to trade sideways and up and sideways and come into here and get harshly rejected down to this $108 underneath support, and then we're going to have to re-diagnose it. Or you're going to simply start to trade down, get a little support, trade up, then get smacked back down, then get back into this green support area, start trading within here for a few days, maybe dip back down to here, and then we're going to be settling in here in a few days, and we got to re-diagnose it out down there at the major underneath support that used to be overhead resistance back here at about the 97-cent level, and then maybe we could swing up for another leg of this up into here and then get rejected somewhere down lower at the $125 level again, right? So that's what we're going to watch out for in the XRP. It's a very fluent situation. The markets are changing. The coins are pumping. The coins are dumping. The market is getting a little bit nervous and shaky and excited all at the same time. So it's a fascinating, scintillating, continuing, evolving, fluent situation in the coin market, right? Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. I appreciate all of your support. It is much appreciated. And oh, that's right, we love each and every one of you, right? Hit that subscribe button and let's get them fleeced. Let's get off the fleece heister and shyster chair and come on, skip your way down the Jabroni Killer Boulevard, right? Peace and love. Peace and love.